Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm super happy you're here. Happy New Year's Eve. Well, if you're watching today, Happy New Year's Eve. If you're watching in the future, then I hope you enjoyed your New Year's Eve. Um, we are going to do some stamping nail art. This is going to be my New Year's set. So if you want to skip the dipping part, then go ahead to 5 minutes, 30 seconds. That's pretty much when I start the stamping. But I am going to go over some tips and tricks using odorless dip liquids. So if you use odorless and you struggle with them, stay tuned. We are just doing a simple black. This is Barbara. It is very, very pigmented and it stains badly. So I really always avoid doing this on my nails, but since I'm doing it on press-ons, no issues there. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys is especially if you're doing such a pigmented color like this, I always hold my nail. Usually I use my little trays, but because this jar is bigger, I just decided to dip straight into the jar and I hold the nail in there for about 3 to 5 seconds. I don't just quickly dip in and then pull out. Then I let the nails sit. Usually, like once I get my thumb done, I'll go straight into my pinky, but I was doing another set simultaneous with this set. So I did that whole set and then I came back to these. So dust off and then dip back in. And the other most important thing I want to say, and I'm so sorry I didn't leave this on video. I thought I did, but I didn't, is I always double dip. So except clear. We'll talk about clear when we get to clear. But when I'm doing any color, even glitters, after I do all the layers of all 5 nails, regardless of if I'm doing separate colors, same colors, it doesn't matter. I always go back in and just do a double dip because the liquids stay wet longer. Like they'll absorb all the pigment and then they'll get wet again. So I always go in with a second dip and that will just absorb some extra powder and make it so that the nails aren't so wet, so that when you go to dust off, you can actually dust off instead of dusting on a liquid nail, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Because this is such a pigmented black and it stains really bad, I am really being cautious about wiping it off on my paper towel in between layers because I don't want to get any pigment into my dip base. And then when I'm completely done using the black, I will take a lint-free wipe with alcohol on it and I will really clean that brush off before I use it again on any other colors, because if I go to do white or like a nude or a pink, any light colors, some of that black may transfer. It might not, I don't know. It's just an extra cautious step. But we have done 2 dips. I double dipped both times. And now we're going to do the clear. This is the biggest tips and tricks I can give you guys right here with the clear. Is we're going to dip in, we're going to hold again for 3 to 5 seconds. I do pull it out of the container. See how it looks really cloudy and white? Do not go back. Never double dip with your clear when you're using odorless. You can do it when you're using regular liquids, but if you're using the odorless and you double dip, it will stay cloudy. So these look really cloudy and I'm going to show you guys what they look like after they've been sitting off to the side only for like a minute, like not even any more than that. And then we'll talk about that step when we get there, which we're almost there. So, does anyone have any exciting plans for tonight? I'm old, so I don't do anything fun. We will probably honestly watch movies. I will be shocked if we stay out till midnight because my fiance worked this morning and he was up at 4:30 this morning. So I don't know that we'll make it to midnight. It's not a big deal to me. My party days are so far past me. I've had plenty of fun on New Year's Eve that just watching movies is fine by me. Okay, see how they're super wet looking? So they absorbed all that clear. So there's no cloudy, no graininess, nothing on top of them. This is perfect. This is what you want. When I first started using odorless, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to wait for these to dry. No, you don't. Go right in with the activator. It will still harden them. It will work perfectly. You do not have to wait for for them to dry to go in with the activator. I used to sit there and I'd wait like 10 minutes and they'd still be tacky on top. And I was like, I can't use odorless liquids if I have to wait this long. You don't. I never do, ever, on anything. Glitter, it doesn't matter. Them being wet is not going to stop the activator from working. And because I went in with that clear layer, I get no black transfer on my odorless brush. If you were to do this without going in with clear, your activator brush is going to be destroyed. They do take about 2 minutes to harden up. And then once I hear that clicky click sound, kind of, you don't want anything hollow. You really want to hear that, like to know that they are fully baked all the way through. They are done. I filed and I buffed off camera, and now we are on to stamping. The first thing I'm going to do, and you can do this so many different ways, is I'm going to go in. This is just a nail transfer glue. It is air dry. It is not gel. And I'm just going to put that on all the nails and set them aside. It takes about a minute and a half or so. Once they're clear, which I'll show you guys here in a moment, then you know they're ready to stamp on. The reason I like that so much, especially when I'm going to go through and stamp every single nail, multiple designs on every single nail, is because they stay tacky. So if I were to go through one by one and do the sticky base coat, especially on a couple of these nails where I'm doing multiple designs, I would lose that sticky and I'd have to go back in with another layer, which would be a problem because it would likely smudge the stamp. That is why this is probably my favorite way to do this, especially when I'm doing stamps on all 5 nails. So I'm using the silver and gold from Maniology. I think the gold is It's Lit and the silver is Pewter. I will link them if they're still available. Sometimes they retire colors, so but I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna stamp every single nail. Like I said, this one we're doing fireworks on. The first one we kind of did like a New Year's like confetti design. And then the middle nail and the thumbnail will have multiple designs on them. So I'm going to clean off the stamp in between with my little grabby thing, my cotton grabber. I highly recommend this because then you're not getting acetone all over your fingers. I mean, yes, I'm using gloves, but the acetone will actually break down the gloves and then I will get holes in them. This is a trick with doing stamping that I'm going to let you guys in on because I kept messing up and doing it. You want to be fully prepared. So you swipe your polish down, and then you take your little card and you swipe it, and then you go right in with the stamper. Any delay, you will not get a good pickup. So the first time I wasn't thinking and my stamper was not cleaned off, and that is why I did not get a good transfer of the stamp. But the second time it was bam, 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 and then I got a good transfer. So, yeah. So I decided to take this little rocket popper thing, I don't know, and put it on top of the champagne like the champagne is, exploding. I thought that was kind of cute. And then I was going to go in and I was going to do this cheers, which I did on the other hand because I did the 2 hands the same, but obviously I only showed one. And then it didn't pick up very well. And I was like, you know what? We already have that on the other hand with the champagne glasses. You did the bottle on this hand. So then I decided to do, a little, it's words. It's Happy New Year. It's really, really hard to tell, especially because I'm kind of zooming through this stamping. This is sped up, but barely. It's literally only 1.5 times. I don't want to keep it in regular speed because it's going to be slow and it's going to bore everyone, but I don't want to speed it up too much. But this is mostly regular, well, close to regular speed. Okay, anyway, so now we're going to go in. This is some more confetti, and we're just kind of going to go around the nail, like to make it look like a border, basically. And we're doing that in the gold. So I'm just transferring like gold on one nail, silver on the other nail, and then my mixed nails, my nails that are going to have multiple designs, are going to have gold and silver on them. I think in person, these are adorable. Unfortunately, in the video and even in the pictures a little bit, they don't transfer as well as I'd like because they're kind of hard to see. But especially with the lights on them, like when I take the video at the end, it is a little hard to see the specific designs. So this is more, I guess, confetti, and it's kind of like an ombre confetti. So I ombre'd it, 2 different colors. When you're swiping, like when you put 2 colors down to swipe, you want to swipe it multiple times because then that will kind of give it the ombre effect. Where if you just put them down and swipe once across, it will look more like a color block, and that's not what I was going for. So, and I am kind of cleaning my brush in between every single time. This is another time that I was not prepared. Luckily, I got lucky and my stamp picked up just fine. Just for the record, usually stamping does not go this quickly for me with this like plan already, like, because I already know exactly what I'm doing on every single nail. So this nail I'm doing like a gold firework in the corner, like a big one, and then like 2 smaller ones like off to the side with the other color. And then I'll do the same thing on the other corner, the opposite corner. And then in the middle, I'm going to do the letter or the numbers 2025. And I do accidentally do them upside down. That's okay. At the end of the day, I didn't even notice until I went to put the nails on and I was like, oh, oops. I did it right on the other hand. But the reason this stamping is going so good for me is because I already did these nails for my other hand. And so I already have kind of the pattern laid out that I want with some minor changes and minor tweaks. But usually when I sit down to stamp, it's like I'm deciding in the moment what stamp I'm going to put on what nail and what I'm going to do. But these are going so fast and so flawlessly because I already have a plan and I'm basically just copying the other hand, like I said, with some minor tweaks. Like on the other hand, I did the numbers in gold, and on this hand I'm doing the numbers in silver. And then on the other hand I did the champagne glasses, and on this hand I did the champagne bottle with the cheers, and I did the Happy New Year on the other hand. But for the most part they're the same. I just kind of switched up the colors of the stamps so that they weren't the exact same. In the pictures, you'll kind of see because I did 3 pictures of one hand, 3 pictures of the other hand. So if you're really paying attention, not that anyone cares that much except me because they're on my hands. That is what I did. And the reason that it's going so quick and I'm not struggling very much is because I already have a laid out plan, which is not me. I am not good at planning. I do a lot of my nail sets like in the moment, colors, everything, designs. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do? And then I kind of just pick it as I go. So this was definitely nice to have a complete plan laid out. I should do this more. I don't know that I will, but I should, because it made everything so easy and so quick. This is probably one of the fastest videos I've ever done. I don't know words right now apparently, but the whole video was like 35 minutes, which usually my videos are about 50 minutes to an hour and a half, and I have to edit it all down. This one, the editing was seamless. I was so happy, which considering I did this last minute because, well, that's what I do. That made it really nice. Like editing only took me about 15 minutes, where usually editing takes, and this is without including the voiceover, just editing and compressing the video down usually takes me about 45 or so minutes, sometimes longer, give or take. This one went super fast. So yay to that. So now we are going to, we've gotten all the nails done. I didn't really let them sit for any amount of time. I mean, the pinky's been sitting for a while because I did it first, but this top coat, this smudge-free top coat is, I don't know that it's old or contaminated with something, but it's very stringy. I do have a new one on the way, but I'm going to use this one as much as I can because it works perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I can lay it all down and there's no smudging. I highly recommend Maniology, or I mean, I think there's other smudge-free top coats from other stamping companies, but I've only used this one, so it's the only one I can speak about, but I highly recommend it. And then you can go in with whatever top coat you desire. I would not recommend leaving this as your top coat. It's not the shiniest, except when you first put it down, it's gorgeous. But it does the job that it is intended to do. And then you have 3 options. Well, I mean, I guess you have 4. You can leave it and do nothing. This can be your top coat. There's nothing wrong with that. You can go in with a regular nail polish top coat, whatever kinds you like. Or, and my favorite is SE Gel Couture, but there's other really good ones. Or you can go in with a gel base and a gel top coat. Or you can go in with your activator carefully and dip top coat. And I've done that several times. I have lots of videos on it. It works just fine. Either way, any of those work. I did gel base and gel top coat. I did not leave it on camera because it was just an extra step. And I'm trying so hard to like get these so that you guys can see the images, but it's so hard. But I think on some of them they're showing really well. Like I said, in person, because they don't have that glare from the light, they are beautiful. They're like my perfect New Year's set. I love them so much. I love this shape. I love this length. I love everything about these. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I hope you guys have the best New Year's Eve and New Year's Day ever. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Bye.